Hello children, how are you all? I hope you are happy and healthy. Children, as you all know, we have completed chapter number 8 in your supplementary reader book, A Pact with the Sun. And we have started yesterday chapter number 9 of your textbook. Now we were completed few paragraphs yesterday. The paragraphs were read and explained also. So children, this is the story about Pambupatti, the place where you can find in the story full of love and harmony. And this is quite amazing thing, amazing place for praying. And now we have started the story, and here in the story we have seen the old person who was taken care praying. So he was started his own story and own experience, whatever he experienced in that area. So children, now we are moving to next part of the story. Now it happened a long time ago, he began. So long ago. There were no school, no teachers. Children lived in the caves with their parents and helped them to collect fruits and berries from the forest. At that time, there were no tigers, panthers, or elephants in the Pambupatti forest. There were only reptiles that we have seen yesterday. Now, many kinds of the reptiles, and the reptiles have decided in the meeting that they did not want to enter in that meeting tortoise family, because they felt the tortoise, like a reptile, they are very slow, they are very hopeless. That is why they just condemned these type of the reptiles, like tortoise. Now, we already done few paragraphs. Now, all the animals thought he was very important. When the someone's strong and powerful, you know, it is difficult not to go along with what he says or does. And we are talking about the Makara. Makara was a very old or very strong crocodile. Makara. The main character, you can see Makara, strong crocodile. So, because of he was full of might, that is why the all meeting members were listened very carefully. Now here, Ahiste, the big old star tortoise with black and yellow pictures on his shell, was very angry. Ahiste, the next, because it was a declaration there to move out, or the tortoise must migrate from this place. So that is why Ahiste, a big old star tortoise, a big family. Now Ahiste, the big star tortoise with black and yellow pictures on his shell, was very angry. Of course, because he belongs to the tortoise family. This is the matter of the anger, of course. He just disappointed about that judgment. What does this mean? He shouted. How dare they? But not one of the tortoise has the courage to attend the meeting. They were so few and others so many. Now here, Ahiste raised his voice, but no other tortoise had power to raise the voice, because they were very few in the meeting, and maximum of the members of the meeting were another reptiles. Now here we are going to read. Before the meeting, the giant Makara polished his teeth with the red flowers of the tree by the river till they sparkled. Everyone was waiting for him at the meeting place. Now Makara again started. Brothers and sisters, he began, all the reptiles, even the beautiful king cobra, just stopped talking. Makara continued his speech. I have decided that we don't need the tortoise. I have told them not to come today. Brothers and sisters, can you tell me why we don't like the tortoise? Now again he just questioned. The reptiles looked this way and that. They felt very uncomfortable. The snakes hissed anxiously. The lizard wriggled their tails. The crocodiles opened their jaws even wider. So here you can see the scene of that meeting. The lizard became very much scared. And here King Cobra felt scary over there because of that reptile, a big reptile like crocodile. But, said one little lizard spoke out. No buts, shouted Makara. There was silence. Again he said, no buts. I don't want to listen any but or if. I think, said a baby crocodile. No, I think, screamed Makara. No, I think, no thought, no any suggestion, no required. Just stop talking. So loudly the fruit in the tree above him rained down. His voice was so loud, because of this loud sound, the fruit of the tree fell down. So, after that, no one had the courage to speak. So, he just created the mahal where the people, those who are the reptiles who were there, they are not having courage to speak. Makara cleared his throat and showed a few more teeth. And well, he said, I will tell you why we don't like tortoise. I will tell you what is the cause behind this, why I am giving this decision. So, they are so slow, so stupid, they even carry their houses on their back. So, you live in the tree, would you ever carry a tree on your back? Would you? Small frightened voices answered together, no, we wouldn't, but. Again, but was there. So he was again asking the question, these stupid, these foolish reptiles, they used to carry their homes at the back. Would you carry this type of the houses on your back? No, but now listen, I have told the tortoise that they will have to move out of the Pambu Patti. They have to move. There is no if and buts. When they go, we will have more of everything. More food, more water, more space. I want them by tomorrow. But because they are such a slow couches, I have given them 1 week. But next Tuesday, we don't have a single tortoise left in this jungle. So, he given a chance to remove from that place. And after that, he said that after the removal of these type of the tortoise in our land, so we will find more space, more food, more water. Now, and by following Tuesday, they were all gone, because this was the order by the Makara, the great and mightiest crocodile. At first the animal was sad, but then they realized that what Makara had said was true. There was more food, more water. They were enjoyed a lot because they were having a lot of space. So the first week was very pleasantly over. And after that, it was the smell of rot. So smell of rot is quite alarming for them. Now, a rotting fruit on the ground. The rotting food was there on the ground, rotting animals in the rivers. This was what the tortoise used to eat. The food of the tortoise was not water or animals or fruits. Their food was only and only rot. So this was the tortoise used to eat. And even Makara had to go about holding his nose with his big claws. Now the smell of the rot was so terrible. Even the Makara was also hold his nose with his great paws. So, children, don't think that you are not important in your family or in the society. Everybody is important, everybody having their work. So children, we are moving to next paragraph. A month passed by and then the same thing happened all over again. But this time it was the snakes. Makara wrote them out of his letters. They were to leave the forest, and since they could move fast, they had to go in a day. Now after tortoise, the snakes were starting very much in the quantity. So Makara was also frustrated of that type of the reptiles, so he ordered to move from that land. So they were ready to move and they just removed from one day. Within a one day, they had to go. Naga, the head of the snake. Now the third character which you can see in this story, that Naga, the head of a snake. The head of snake. So Naga, the head of the snake. Now, Naga, the head of the snake, pleaded for more time. Naga, the head of the snake, was really very upset about that decision, and he was requested many times. But Makara would not give in. But Makara was adamant about his decision. He would not like to give any chance to snake. Or at the meeting, he silenced the others, the lizard and the crocodile, with even louder shouts and threats. In the meeting, he just stopped each and every one, as we have discussed in the early part of the chapter, that he never and ever listened any type of the noise in between his decision. Any type of the suggestion, he did not like it. So that is why he said, stop it. No if, no buts. Now, with even louder shout and threats. And he used to give the threats also. Snakes are slimy, he said, but they make funny noises. Who wants such weird creatures around? Now here he discussed about that, and he said, yes, of course, snakes are slimy. Snakes are not taking place much, but their sound is so weird, so funny. So nobody is ready to hear their hissing sound. So now, who wants such weird creature around? Who want these type of the creature in this land? Again, no one dared to disagree with Makara. Again, what happened? Nobody was ready to give any suggestion, because they have already done in the time of the tortoise. and they were stopped by the Makara. Now they not even say or speak a single word against Makara, because they were so frightened, so scared of Makara. That is why nobody told anything. For a while, the animals of the forest were happy because they had been a little afraid of snakes. You never knew what one of them might lose his temper and spit some venom at you. At it look only a little poison to kill you after all. Now here, few villagers were very happy because there were no snakes. And as you all know, children, snakes are quite dangerous for us. Some are harmless, but few are very dangerous. So that we have already understood in the previous chapter. So here the villagers were very happy, and they just don't want to see these type of the snake, because anytime they can bite them with their venom. So they will die. That is why they were very happy with that. And it took only a little poison to kill you after all. So yes, of course, it is true. So that is why they were happy. Now we are moving to the third part of the story. It's having 3 points. The lizard were also ordered to leave, and the whole forest now belongs to Makara and his group. The crocodiles force unforeseen problem in the absence of their fellow reptiles. They soon realized that their happiness lay in their fellow creatures, happiness and homecoming. So children, in next part of the story we will see the next decision which was taken by the Makara was not very comfortable for these type of the creature. Crocodiles. Now let's see in the next part of the story what is going to happen. A few weeks passed and the animals of the forest looked tired and fed up. First of all, they were fed up with the rot, and now next the snake removed from that place. So they just animals of the forest looks tired and fed up, because each and every cleanliness they have to do. That is why they just fed up and tired. The rats. The next problem which occurred in that area, that is rat. So here children, you can see now that there were no snake to eat them, because the food of the snake is always a rat or these type of the rodent. So the rats had been over the forest. Everywhere where your eyes will go, you can see everywhere rats were there. And they were having a wonderful time, because no one is there to bite them, to kill them. So the rats having a wonderful time, they are free, they are enjoying their freedom, because no one is there to hunt. They were everywhere, on the trees, in the grass, in the bushes, on the ground, everywhere. They were everywhere. Rats were everywhere. On the tree. They were on the tree, on the land, on the bushes, in the bushes, on the land, or everywhere you can see only rats. You just imagine. That was really a dangerous situation. And children, do you know, these rodents bring plague. It's very dangerous disease. Now, and they were having a wonderful time everywhere they were there. Now they ate up the eggs of the lizard and crocodiles. They started eating the eggs of the crocodiles and lizards. there would be no babies that year because they ate. The rats ate. So now, Makara's own nest of eggs had been chewed up. Because of the excessive strength of the rats, Makara was also fed up. And after that, he found his eggs were also ate by the mouse or the rats. Then Makara had a great idea. He called a meeting of the crocodiles and said, "Wouldn't it be wonderful if the crocodiles could have the whole jungle for ourselves? No one but us, these lizards. Now just look at them. They have the strangest habits, and some of them even change color. How can we trust someone who is green one minute and the next? Let's get rid of them." Now, because without focusing his own problem, he again focused on that lizards, because only that reptile were remained on that land. So he started a meeting and said and asked and giving decision, and was started to give a decision that, do you know, these type of the lizard very creepy. They are not looking very good, and they have the strangest habit. In a minute they can change their colors. So it is quite strange. And green, who is green one minute, who is red the next. So let's get rid of them. Let's get rid of them. We just want to relieve them from there. By now the crocodiles were really scared of Makara. Now, because he decided to remove these type of the lizard, those who are living over there. And after his decision, the crocodiles were also scared. So they clapped and cheered because of the fear of this person, this Makara. So that is why they just cheered and clapped. Now children, Makara was pleased. The lizard left the forest, some with their babies on their backs. Now the last reptile which were left on that land, that was only lizard. And lizard had to left that place because Makara had ordered him. So they left with their babies on the backs. But now, when life should have been wonderful for the crocodiles of Pambupatti, all kinds of awful things began to happen. To begin with, the rats grew bolder by the day. They became so fearless, and they jumped and turned somersaults on the crocodiles' backs. And there were too many frogs. They seemed to be growing larger, and there was no one to eat them but the crocodiles. These huge frogs began to eat the baby crocodiles and the insects. Now that the lizards were gone, there were millions of them growing bigger and nastier by the day. So in this part of the story, you can find the scene which was quite dangerous scene. And rats became larger and larger and very, very fearless. And they were just, as you have seen in the early part of the story, they just had to move here and there, ups and down they used to do. And after that, they're just doing their somersault, jumping on the back of the crocodiles. So, and they were eager to eat their babies. They were eager to eat. And the rats grew bolder by the day. They became so fearless they jumped and turned somersault on the crocodiles' backs. And there were too many frogs also. After that, frogs were there. And the frogs started eating the baby's crocodile. That was really a dangerous situation for the crocodiles. Because after getting rid of these lizard, because lizard used to eat these type of the insect, now frogs started eating. And they became larger and larger, like rats. So the condition became awful. The condition became so dangerous for the crocodile. It was a terrible time for the crocodiles. Yes, really, it was a terrible time. Because this was a time to relieve from these type of the rodents and frogs. They couldn't understand what had happened to their happy forest home. The crocodile were upset because they could not understand what was happening in the forest, in that area. Then one day a squeaky little voice piped up at one of their meetings. We know why the forest has gone crazy, don't we? Now then one day a squeaky little voice piped up. It means a very meek type of the voice piped up. And it said, why these things are happening in our land? Do you understand? We know why the forest has gone crazy. They are going mad. Why? Don't we? Suddenly everyone was silent because he raised a valid point over there. That was the point which was really the thought was really realistic. Suddenly everyone was silent. They looked at the Makara fearfully, but to their surprise he looked nervous. He shook a rat off his tail and asked the small crocodile, "Why, little fellow?" It all began with the talk. Now, in the meeting, when the very meek voice was raised up, that time Makara was silent. And he was nervous also, because he was starting the realization of what he'd done with the tortoise. Because first he started that type of the demolition of the tortoise. And after that, this situation will occur. So suddenly everyone was silent over there, and he shook his head, his rat off his tail, and asked the small crocodile, "Why, little fellow?" He asked to little crocodile, "Why, little fellow? Why, little baby?" It all began with the thought. Okay, said Makara. There is no need to talk so much, because his mistake was there, his blunder mistake he had done. Because he thought everyone will be okay with his decision. No, because this was a dangerous situation in that forest. That is why everybody started speaking out. And after that, he said, no, there's no need to talk. There's no need to any suggestion. I don't need any type of suggestion from you. No need to talk so much. Makara didn't want to admit he was wrong. He was so stubborn. That is why he said, no need to talk. I don't want to listen anything. But it didn't matter, because this was the situation which was not in hands of the Makara. It became very dangerous situation. because these babies, those who were born over there, they just vanished because of the rats and the frogs. They sent urgent message all over the place from the tortoise, snakes and lizard to come back to the Pambupatti. And what a great day it was when these creatures came back, family after family, with their little ones on their backs or straggling behind, shouting at their parents to wait for them. So children, really it was a wonderful day when this message was sent to the snakes, tortoise, lizards. Those had been already left from that place, they started coming. It was really a wonderful day for them because their native place, Pambupatti, now going to alive with their chorals, with their noises, with their hospitality. So now this is the day when they started coming. So children, we have completed many paragraphs today. So few are left and question answers we will do in the next video. Till then children, read this story and search and practice to write in your own word the meaning of this story, because the essence of the story is very, very important. So children, we will meet again. Till then, bye-bye and take care.